Hey, welcome back to Let's Get Dirty Garage. Today we'll try and get the rest of the sheet metal and attaching stuff off and start stripping things down in order to try and get the heartbeat of this thing out. Well, what's left of it. So engine, transmission, fun stuff like that. So starting to remove big parts, getting more fun. So stick around, have some fun, and let's go ahead and let's get dirty. Is this thing on? Yeah. Well, let's see if we can't get the tailgate and rear bumper and some other stuff off while the garage door is open and it's nice outside. So we'll see if we can't get a few of the things disassembled in the back here. On the tailgate, it's just held in by 3 screws on either side or 3 bolts on either side on the hinge down there, and obviously got to take off the little straps that hold it on, and got latches and things to come out, so we'll get the screw smasher out for that, and then the latches on the outside painted in there a couple of different times, so we'll see if those come out and see what we can get stripped down. Alright, let's see if we can get these screws out of here with the smasher. Alright, now you can let go. Anytime they're rusted in or painted in, they really don't like to come out, but I think I got all these broken loose. Definitely got at least 3 layers of paint on them. Nobody ever decided to take anything apart when they painted this the last 2 or 3 times. Right. See if we can't get this one loose as well. This side doesn't have any tension on it. I think it's all being held up by the other side, so we'll take this one off first. Just a 3/4 inch bolt on both ends of that, I believe. This one's spring loaded, so should be fun when it comes out. Just supposed to keep that keep the cable folding down so it doesn't bind up in there. It's pretty straightforward. This side off the body. Lots of paint on that baby. Cables are not supposed to be painted, I don't think. I have to take a trip through the blaster. Again, I'm using bolts that are way too long. Probably could use a socket and make it quicker. Alright, random parts. Rinse and repeat on the other side. Alright, we got the latch out. Pulled the center of that out as well, but now we gotta make sure we get all the wiring out of this thing. So, pull the reverse lights out and then show you where all the harness and stuff runs in there. Really? Wow. Two pieces of sheet metal together, gotta have a bolt that long. I'm telling you, weight reduction is just putting shorter bolts in all this stuff. Loose. That doesn't want to come apart. I think I'll soak that with a little PB while I pull the rest of that apart. So, but basically rinse and repeat on the other side as well. Okay, well the harness comes in here on the driver's side, and essentially it's just a single wire for the reverse lights. Comes into this tube, runs up into a grommet that is a little crusty at this point, but then runs along this whole bottom edge all the way across to the other side for the reverse lights. So a couple of little clips in there I got to pop out, and I'll pull that harness out of there, and then we should be ready to get that tailgate off. All right, well, here to help with the rear end of this thing, get the bumper and the tailgate off, is my lovely wife Heather. So say hi to Heather. Hi. And we found out the hard way that the tailgate really doesn't want to come off very easily without the bumper off. So we're going to grab the bumper off first. We've knocked it loose, fought the rusty bolts, and got out the heat wrench and all sorts of great knuckle busting and swearing, but everything's loose. So we're just going to crawl underneath there and grab that out of there, and then we can get to the tailgate. So
yeah.
You take
By the
that
way,
side?
everybody needs to wear safety glasses. Just because.
Safety squint. Alright. Those should be loose over there now.
On this side over here.
Probably get those with your fingers. Get the bolts out.
I guess where we? We're looking at
There's one right back inside there.
Oh, you needed that lube stuff. That's good. I have it.
Okay, the PB blaster, the magical wonder fluid.
Yeah, everybody gotta have lube. All right, so unfortunately this bolt is frozen on this side. Yeah, it's
The wrench on the back side of that.
yeah, slowly. Yeah. not quite untightened enough. I'm getting there. Push up on the bumper just a little bit. There you go. Thank you, my love.
Absolutely.
Stuck right there at the end. Which is okay.
You coming?
Yep. A little bit more. Oh. Maybe. Potentially. Almost have it. Yeah, it's rusted on the very end of it. Yay!
All right.
Hooray!
Ornery thing.
Yep.
All right. Now.
Oh, hold it.
Why don't you get out from underneath there, gorgeous?
Okay.
I don't want to drop anything.
Yeah. Kind of need all my extremities.
Just set it down and we can get the rest of this stuff unhooked. And... all right. Dangling.
Oh.
All right. You want to grab a hold of that side of the tailgate and we'll get those last bolts out of there?
I absolutely can.
All right, one tailgate, one bumper. Add that to the growing pile of sheet metal. So you just set it down.
Yep, I'm gonna set it over here.
All right. We'll get the rest of this unhooked and be ready to go. All right, I think the very last piece of removable sheet metal is the smuggler's box top here. And see if we can't get that popped off. And then after that, I think just about every piece of removable metal is off of this thing. And we start making some progress on some of the mechanical stuffs. But they called this a smuggler's box way back in the day because the floor pans of these were actually from a station wagon, I think. And the rear seat area is still in these floor pans. And they just use this cover back here in order to cover up the back side of that. There was a little, behind the driver's seat, there's a little like plastic insert. Had some space back in there for storage and whatnot. And then creative folks actually would pull these covers off, and I think you can get access to the other side of that and stash whatever in there if you're doing something crazy. But anyways, I think there's just 4 very well painted bolts holding this on. And then the challenge will be trying to see if we can break the seal, because obviously these would tend to leak being exposed to the elements, so they sealed it down with a bunch of gooey putty and stuff like that. So let's see if we can't get up underneath there and get it pried off. See if there's any treasures left. Okay, come on. A lot of paint on those babies. At least 3 paint jobs on top of them. Good tight fit to the socket, I guess. Alright, hopefully it should be loose. See if we can get up underneath there, get anything going. I don't think there's any other fasteners from the bottom side, but I'm sure we'll find out. That's sticky stuff. Whatever's holding that in there. When in doubt, find leverage. Go. Definitely nobody smuggled anything in this, because it's still sealed pretty tight. That's not light either. All right, smuggler's box open. Let's see what kind of treasures await us. All right, well, it looks like the floor is actually pretty solid. You can see these would be the let's see here. Oh, these would be the hooks where the rear seat for station wagon and so on would go up underneath there. Rear seat mount there would have been obviously the rear seat back there, but the floor looks at least solid. So drain holes weren't plugged, wasn't holding water. Pretty well sealed from the top side, so looks good. No major sheet metal repairs in there. This is just the additional panel that they put in the El Caminos in order to split that floor. And you can see over the driver's side there's a little access panel in there. House the little plastic bucket to put things in. But all right, all in all, solid floor. We're in good shape, and I think that kind of wraps it up for sheet metal coming off of this beast. So we should be ready to start getting ready for engine, transmission, all that fun stuff to come apart. Sounds cool. Well, now that we got the sheet metal and attaching parts off, I think it's time to start stripping this beast down and get ready for a heart transplant. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull AC lines off, belts and electricals, and get all the wiring harness off, and probably pull the distributor out and start getting it freed up and see if we can't get to the point where we're ready to pull that out. So let's dig in. All right, let's get started with the fan just to get the knuckle busting out of the way. At least get the sharp objects out of the way. And that way, should be able to get all the rest of the belts and fun stuff off. But it's always best to try and pull these off while the belts are tensioned, because otherwise it just kind of got the freewheeling thing going on. But again, if you don't have a belt on it, then you can always shove a screwdriver in between the bolt and the center post. That usually gets it broken free, so you can get them loosened up a little bit. Just kind of gotta break them open so and get in there with a wheelie dealy here. But as I said, as I was telling you, when we first got this, it was had some rust down in the cylinders. I think just was sitting too long, and just a few days of soaking it down with Marvel Mystery oil. I'm not sure what's in it because it's a mystery, but that freed that up and got it running with fuel pump, and swapped over an old HEI distributor, and since I had one, and we'll pull that back out, but seemed to run good. Everything really didn't play with timing or anything too much, but did get it to at least sit and idle for a little bit, and seemed like the coolant was circulating and warmed up, but I don't think we're gonna stick with a traditional small block. We'll probably go, at least my plan, we'll see what Mama's plan is, but my plan is to go to an LS and get some fuel injection on it and be able to actually start it and not have to worry about flooding and great stuff like that. But drivability, I mean, you really can't beat fuel injection, especially over these old 1-barrel Rochesters, or maybe it's supposed to be a 2-barrel, but it's a little tiny one. It just doesn't breathe so good. But we'll get kind of all the accessories off here, and then see if we can find all the connections to the harness and everything. Hoses and clamps and everything else I'm sure will fight us along the way, but we'll get through it. So again, not sure why they use the longest bolts on the planet for all of this stuff. It's incredible. Apparently they just had a big bin of really long bolts, and that's all anybody ever used. Okay, I think I finally got the wiring harness undone from everything. It was in there pretty good, obviously, but last step, just gonna try and get this off the firewall here. Just a 3/8 bolt, but should unplug from the other side, and we'll see if we can't extricate this thing. That needs to be a little bit longer too. Yep, it is a little bit longer. Nice. This is a heck of a lot easier when the inner fender well is off. If the fender well isn't off or the fender isn't off, then you really got to take the brake booster out to get the harness to come up out of there. So anyways, that should be loose. Oh, and by the way, what's blue and not very heavy? Light blue. Back to regularly scheduled programming. All right, I think I got all the harness unhooked in large tangles here. Good guess as to where it all goes back together for sure, but get at least the spaghetti out of the way. And that should make for a much easier engine extraction. So, all right, spaghetti. Now I'm hungry. Well, I think now just the last few pieces on the top side, at least, until we get into trying to extricate this thing from the bottom side. Just get these hoses off, and let's see, throttle linkage is undone, so we're good there. Get heater hoses, and then just got to free up the power steering. Set that off to the side. It's going to make a mess, I'm sure, but everything else, oh, excuse you. Everything else from the top side, I think, should be ready to go. I got 2 ground straps off, and all of the wiring, so the complete harness is gone. Ooh, a little crusty in there, but we'll pull this one off too, just in case. Not sure what radiator combo or anything else. Well, I'm probably gonna need a new one anyways. This one's definitely seen better days, and so has that hose clamp. That's still the original clamp, I believe. Got those stand-up ones that never worked very well. Can't believe they lasted this long. But yeah, set that aside carefully. All right, now I'm just gonna pull off the power steering pump. If I can find what I did with all of my random tools. Kind of love it when I just lay stuff down. This should just be 3 bolts in there. And then I'm just going to set this aside. I'm not even going to disconnect it at this point. We'll wait till we start stripping the chassis and pull the steering box and all the stuff out together. See if the hoses actually come off. Honestly, if we do end up going to an LS, then we're going to have a whole different setup anyway, so we'll see how that goes. All right, 2 bolts. All right, so belts, hoses, wiring, all that fun stuff. That one is not original and does not work. It just backs the screw out, so some persuasion required. Yeah, that's a little bit crusty. Find a job for the world's longest screwdriver again. May not be original, but it's rusted on there. Come on, you can do it. Yes. Okay, fuel lines unhooked, trans lines, all that great stuff. Pull that out from there, but I think from the top side, we should be ready to go. And I guess next time we will start playing with the bottom side and see if we can't get this thing plucked out of here. So anyways, on to the next. Well, that's enough for tonight. So, hey, listen, thanks a bunch for watching. And if you like what you see, even if you don't, hit the subscribe, hit the like button. Do me a great big favor. I'd appreciate it. Time to go get cleaned up because it did get a little bit dirty today, which is awesome. But anyways, thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Take care.